Hey guys, haven't seen you since last year. For anyone new, I did a journey to 2000 for a year. I recorded a video every single day, but I didn't reach 2000. I still gained a good amount of rating. At a certain point, I had to get a job with that took more hours away from focusing on my chess. But now I'm kind of returning to chess with more kind of emphasis. And I don't really like playing online games too much, but I love going to tournaments. I've been going to tournaments once a week, and I'm going to recap last week and the week before's tournament. 2 weeks ago, I play classical games, 90 minutes, 30 second. You gain 30 seconds after every move you make. But it was the last round of the tournament 2 weeks ago, and the organizer said, hey, you have no one to verse. You want to play in our 25-minute game where it's 25 minutes, 25-minute tournament. But every move you make, it's delayed by 5 seconds, which means you wait. The timer kind of doesn't start until 5 seconds pass for every move. So I played in that. I played 3 rounds of that tournament, and these are the games. The first game was against a 2199 rated player because I'm still unrated. So pretty much like an international master, I think he was. Maybe national master, maybe not. I don't really remember. But this was that game, and after this game, he actually helped me out, which was cool. And we're going to go over every game, too. So I played my Pirtz opening as black, as I normally do, and my opponent starts playing this really weird moves. I thought the second that this pawn pushed forward, I thought, wow, maybe I'm in a happier place, because usually my idea is to queenside attack. If he's queenside attacking, that means he's spending less time over here. He's probably going to castle kingside. It's not going to be that crazy of a game. Maybe I could win. I don't know what I was thinking. But it's good. It's good to have confidence even against stronger players, I think. So I go for this. I know he's going to castle, and I'm thinking I'm going to get my bishop to b7. I think looking back, this c5 move is really weird. Probably unnecessary and weakens the d6 square. But I thought it was really nice to take a strong hold of the center. And it stops d4, or so I thought. All right, I thought maybe I could take. Now here, maybe I should have taken. I'm not sure. Again, these are 25-minute games. Time flies, honestly, when you overthink like me. But I developed my bishop, and I'm trying to play relatively fast, because I know my mistake a lot of times is in the opening, not playing fast. And I talk to some people, and it's like, you go play kind of fast in the opening. At this level, you're not going to blunder much. So I bring the knight in, I trade, and this pawn push is actually very annoying. So something like takes, and if he gets this opportunity to push this pawn, my bishop is kind of made useless. And after this knight move that I made, thinking I might have something here or here, he does do the pawn push. And I'm like, wow, I think I made a mistake. I saw this. I saw the bishops staring at each other. But I think this is pretty much when the game lost all of its flavor. He told me that the worst move he thought I made, or a really bad move, when he saw that he was kind of happy, was h6. So this pawn push, I've been learning a lot lately. Pushing pawns in front of your king should only be done under extreme circumstances, especially even the corner pawn and the center pawn. The center pawn is part of my setup with the bishop to fianchetto, so that's kind of necessary. So if I already have this pawn here, I probably should be careful pushing the corner pawn. Because when I push the h pawn, right, I don't have, if I push it to h6 even, which is what I do, I don't have a way to protect it with another pawn, right? Because I already pushed this pawn to g6. I think that's the idea. Of course, f pawn pushes are a lot of times fine. You just got to be careful of the diagonal, and yeah, a lot of times they're fine. But anyway, this is how the game kind of progresses. I bring my bishop up onto the other side. Probably in the beginning of the game, I should have brought my bishop to g4, and he mentioned that to me too. It's very thematic for this opening, but I wanted to play a little differently. I wanted to see what would happen. So anyway, or maybe he said h5 was the bad move. No, I think it was h6. He breaks into the position, and at this point, I realized my mistake. I was really thinking hard and trying to understand how the pawns should push and the pawn structures in this position. But when I see h4, I go h5. It's it's scary for this pawn to push a lot of times. But anyway, at this point, I knew I was completely losing. This is the only way to kind of stop checkmate. I thought. And I think I resigned here because there's nothing I can do. If I defend, there's the queen check. He comes here, and then the queen checkmates. So if I come here, 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 that's checkmate. And if I come back, well, I can't. If I come here, kind of similar. I think I calculated a checkmate here too. But I mean, it's just completely horrible, right? I mean, you don't have to be a genius in chess to see that this is completely losing. So in this position, I resigned. And let me delete move. I want to see what it is with the analysis. I haven't seen with the analysis bar at all. I haven't seen any of these games with analysis bar. So it's going to be fun to see it together. It's kind of one reason I like recording also. It looks like all of this was fine. Actually, we analyzed the game a little bit afterwards too. Even my knight move was okay, but it was a little weird. Yeah, computer liked e6. In these positions with the peer, it's the opening I use. For some reason, e6, e5 is very popular. I mean, I say for some reason, but it's literally a center pawn push, right? So it makes sense. But e6, I guess, puts more pressure here. So if push, I can probably take. Computer says, okay, bishop takes. This makes a lot more sense because I deflect the queen away. So after taking, I could actually win a pawn, right? Now, this is supposed still even, probably because it's not that simple to keep this pawn protected. I'm not sure. But I don't play like that. Instead, I push this h6 pawn, which, yeah, he was right. This was the worst move in the position. Better to have traded and then maybe go e6. Computer likes e5. I guess, again, opening up the rook. The f pawn doesn't matter as much because it could open up your rook. And in this case, this diagonal is not even a threat, really, at the moment. So e6 should have gone e6. And then he would have gone e4. Actually, this is really interesting. e6, e4. Because if I take here, I run into the same problem, which is that everything is closed off. Which is correct. It's pretty cool that I saw that. So that's why computer prefers knight c7. It's not looking that comfortable for me. And he was telling me he had a lot of easy moves to make. Right? This is part of chess also. Like, if you have easy moves to make, it can be easier to play or whatever. Anyway, this is what happened. And yeah, once he closed off the structure, it was pretty much impossible to do anything. Now, these games I'm not going to go too into because I think, I don't know, they're not as... I don't have as much time to think, so it's not like as interesting in a way. And I want to start spending like a whole week analyzing myself and then doing it, telling you guys what I saw from my classical game and then seeing what the computer says. I think that would be really cool. I also talk to coaches and friends and stuff about my games, but that would be cool. Anyway, let's look at the review. I'm just curious what it says. It says my opponent played with 91.8% accuracy. I played with 71.7%. I mean, okay, I guess that makes sense. Of course, this shouldn't take this to heart. This is just numbers that chess.com says, but okay. That was the first game. This is the second game. I versed a 1942 rated player who drew. And after this game, his hands were shaking. You could tell there's psychological effects too. His hands were shaking at a lot of points of the game because somehow I was playing so good. And my friend who's a national master, he said after the game, "Oh, you lost to him? Don't feel bad. He's tough." And I was like, I was beating him. So this is a really cool game. We'll see what the computer actually thinks. But he thought the guy I was versing said, I think you were winning. You should have done this move instead of that. And we'll go over that. So I played with white here. I go into my Vienna. And here I was hoping the bishop would come to c5 and it would get crazy, which is the variation I love. Bishop comes here. Queen comes to g4, putting pressure here. Queen comes here. Knight comes here. So for those that don't know, it's like boom. It's a copycat variation or mirror variation. I forget what it's called. And it gets super crazy. Your king doesn't castle, but there's this pressure on this pawn, and it's just super crazy. I think the move here, I haven't played it in a while. Knight h3, I think, is the move. Let's see what computer... Yeah, knight h3 is the move. And this is slightly winning, but it's very, very difficult, I think. It's a crazy, super fun game. But he goes knight f6, which is the more boring thing. I don't have any plans for this. I think the best move is actually d3. So I go d3. My opponent goes h6. I develop my knight. This is very thematic for me in the Vienna, just because a lot of times the knight comes towards the center. And this is super annoying to deal with, especially if my queen is on f3 or something. So even though it blocks my queen's access to this diagonal, it does stop this annoying knight jump, because this becomes an outpost too. So anyway, he brings the bishop. I push h3 to stop his knight from coming in and some annoying stuff like this. He pushes a6, I go a3. The idea just to bring my bishop back, and so the knight can't come in, and like if the knight tries to attack my bishop, I always have the bishop coming back. I even have this fork potentially. So anyway, I attack here, going into like the thematic Vienna gambit, gambiting this side pawn to get my rook very active, and to take back while activating a piece. He doesn't let me do that, and then I decide, and I have no idea if this is good or bad, but I decide to push this pawn. And this feels a little dubious. I'm not sure if this is good, if this is bad, but it feels a little weird. When I put this onto chess.com, I thought, should I have done this move? Because I thought, okay, if bishops get traded, it's actually fine. The pawn structure is fine like this. I've played games like this before. It's totally fine. But should I take here, right? I'm helping the knight develop, coming closer, but I stop it from coming here. But what if he takes with the pawn? So I'm starting to look at all these things. And looking back again, maybe it wasn't the best decision because it closes off my idea of having access to this file with my rook. But we trade, and then he goes b5, which I thought was really weird. I bring my queen forward. The reason why I didn't take is because a pawn takes, it opens up his rook. I think there was some other reason. I don't remember. This was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I just don't. Oh, it weakens this, right? I can't protect the e4 pawn. That's probably why. So first I bring my queen to d3, also just developing the queen. But now I don't need to worry about this pawn. It's protected. And my opponent castles. And I thought this was really dumb. Because now I'm just up a pawn. I could take here, and I'm up a pawn. He brings the knight in. I take again, because why not? There is no real threats here. Everything is protected. It looks very scary, but it's fine. And here I spend a lot of time thinking. And I get down to around 2 minutes. I don't know where exactly, but I get down to around 2 minutes. I have to start playing fast. And my opponent has a lot of time. By the way, he gets down to 2 minutes at some point too. So I bring the knight here. This was a very hard decision for me. I thought bishop e3, okay, but then, I don't know, he could take, and maybe there's some sort of fork, right? If here, there's this fork. Of course, I could also just take back with the knight. But I didn't like how everything is kind of falling apart for me. I mean, this position I probably would be fine with. I'm up 2 pawns. I mean, this one will probably fall, but I'm up a pawn. Pawn structure is kind of but it's actually okay, right? He doesn't have an immediate way to strike back at my king, so I even have time to castle maybe in the future. Maybe coming here is fine. But I thought that he didn't need to take. He could even take here, threatening here. And it just gets super messy. I don't remember exactly what I thought, but I was calculating a bunch of stuff. Like this is very annoying position, I think. You know? So I would say I'm probably losing here. I'm down 1 point of material. I'm going to lose this. My pawns are kind of... I mean, this is the only weak pawn he really has. So I start calculating all this stuff. And I think, you know what? Probably should develop another piece. By the way, there's this knight fork also, which I was calculating. If he deflects my queen away somewhere, the knight comes in. So I come in with this weird knight move. And the point of this is to put more support here, but it's also to open up, I guess, my king and to stop any queen checks like this. Because I also saw this, queen check. I was calculating all this stuff. So he takes, I take with that knight, I take with check. I know he's going to take with the queen because he doesn't want to open up the king. And then I bring the knight. I thought this was amazing. I'm completely winning. I'm forking both pieces. But again, this is kind of the issue here, right? If I take here, for example, he has this, and it's not that clear, to me, at least. It looks very scary. I mean, maybe I can just come here and everything's fine. But all of a sudden, he starts putting a lot of threats on the table. Actually, he already has something like this. And this is unstoppable, right? Because the queen is there too. So I saw this as a very big threat. So I was like, I got to develop my bishop. I got to castle soon. That's it. I'm winning. I got to just get into the winning position. Of course, he brings the rook in. Very scary. And I castle here. I thought this was a really good move. Still, again, not sure if it was the best move. I was also considering just moving my king somewhere, but I thought if the king comes to f2, then the bishop's going to attack me later on. That looks super scary. Queen d2 just looks like you're setting yourself up for failure, and castling brings a rook in, right? And it stops this fork idea. So maybe it was the best move. And here he thinks for like, this is the point where he thinks like 8-9 minutes or something crazy. And I just like look around pretending like I know what I'm doing, like playing this psychological game where I was, bro, there was so much calculation, and that is like the most intense quick game I've played. And he takes this pawn, and I was looking at a bunch of things. I was like, what a super cool move. I was looking at a bunch of things because he has this discovered attack, right? I mean, this knight discovered attack doesn't work because I think I could take something like this, 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 and I'm just winning. I think that's what I calculated. This doesn't work. I think for a similar reason, something like this, or not that. I don't remember exactly what I calculated, but I thought this was fine. Probably what did I think actually? Probably trade queens and trade rooks and queen to f2. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't remember what I thought. But there was some way to deal with this threat. And I start seeing all this stuff, but I didn't see knight c2. And one of the moves I also considered with the knight moving out of the way, if there's no check, is to just take the rook. And this looks insane, okay? It really does. It looks crazy. He told me after the game, he thought that I was winning here. I should have given up my queen. And he said the reason was he thought I could push this pawn and make another queen. Something like takes. And yeah, I don't remember, something like here, and this is unstoppable. But this looks super scary. I mean, he's so close to everything, and I don't know. I thought for so long that this pawn is just gonna die. So I moved the king over, and there's a rule which is kind of annoying to me, but there's a rule that if there's 5 minutes or less left, you don't have to notate anymore. Okay, so I guess around this point, I had 5 minutes and he had around 5 minutes. I thought I had 2 minutes. Maybe that was later on. At some point, I had like 8 seconds left. But because there's 5-second delay every move, I was able to make moves. And he thought this was an equal game. What ended up happening later on was somehow he got 2 pawns here. And yeah, somehow he got 2 pawns in the center. And they were just rolling down, and he took this. I think he took this here, something like this, and the game kind of went to a standstill, something like this. I'm not good enough to remember all the moves, but I think at some point he tried to put pressure here, and I stopped everything, and it went into this really cool like end game where it was like some pawns and rook versus pawn and rook or something. And it looked like it might be drawn, but I felt the position was losing for me. I ended up losing, but he went down to the wire, and we were the last group playing, last 2 people playing. So we had a horde of people just watching, which was pretty cool. But now is the fun part. I mean, all of it is the fun part. But now is the part to look at the computer and see what the computer thinks about all of this. So we're going to go to review. And probably should do with analysis bar too, but let's see first. Wow, I played with 85.4, he played with 86.5% accuracy. He had a blunder, and I had a miss. Oh, that's annoying. But let's look at the game. This is a type of game I would love to spend hours just analyzing, but that's okay. So we went here, all of this. Yeah, this was the book move. This was a weird move. I thought developing the knight was fine. Computer likes f4, going for this right away. I mean, this makes sense, because if he takes, then I develop the bishop. And this is not scary at all. It's just not. Like, the bishop could stop the knight idea now. And I have this pawn push, and my knight's going to come here, and I'm going to castle. Maybe there's some fork idea that's scary, but overall it's fine. It goes bishop c5, I go h3. I knew h3 was slow, but I liked the move. Computer likes castling. Also likes knight a4. Knight a4. Yeah, knight a4 makes sense. This is just a totally different game. Yeah, there's nothing really to say about that. Like, if this comes here, this is the annoying thing to me. This is super annoying to play against. Like, I don't know what to do in this position. Like, maybe I'll go knight e2, try to trade it off, honestly. But the problem with this move is it just wastes time. Computer likes h3 or f4. Again, f4 for the ideas we mentioned before. h3 makes sense, just so my bishop could get away, maybe. Also, less pressure with this semi-open file. But anyway, I go h3 here. I go f4, and actually, this was a mistake. Apparently, I should have castled. Wow. And pushing my pawn was the best move, and I wasn't sure if it was good. Taking here was not. I think another reason I didn't take is I thought my pawn structure becomes so stupid. Like, this looks so bad. But anyway, the game proceeds. I'm losing. I take here. Here was my miss. Really? Bishop d2. Is it to castle faster? What's the idea here? What's the idea behind bishop d2? Well, anyway, I took. He blundered because he just gave up another pawn. And here I played a weird move. Yeah, I should just simplify. Now this, I saw this move, but I thought, doesn't it just make two very weak pawns? Apparently, it just evens out the game. You just trade everything. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Okay, that would be dumb. I just take the queen, but I took. Here, taking was bad. What did computer like? I feel like taking was so natural. h4? Why? To stop the queen from coming in? H4 allows the knight to come in. That looks so weird. But apparently I was winning here with h4. How? Bishop g5. Sacrificing. No one would ever see this. What a crazy move. Sacrificing my bishop for this crazy attack. Are you serious? Like, what if this? Like, oh my god. This is a checkmate. No, that's crazy, man. Imagine I played that, though. I would never see that. I would never even consider that. Okay, so castling here was right. Apparently I was just losing. And this just equalized the game. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Bishop takes a3. I think I saw this move at some point. Queen can't take because I get mated. So pawn takes, and maybe there's a target already. Maybe this is the idea. I'm not sure. Again, this is just crazy stuff. Oh, and you winning this pawn is a big thing. Okay. So he misses that. Takes. All of this was fine. This was still a neutral game. Ugh! It was a drawn position. Are you kidding me? You see, this is why I wish I had more of it written down. But I've talked to people. They say they just memorize their games. At a certain point, I have to do that too. I mean, taking this looked bad. I was right. I don't think I took here. I think I tried to trade rooks, and he came here or something. Queen c7. Maybe I took here, trying to go for this mate threat. Well, that wouldn't make sense because of this. I was thinking a lot. I was so low on time. Very unfortunate. It was just a completely drawn game. Of course, does it feel drawn? No. But yeah, maybe I came here. I wish I remembered. Then I think he did come here. I do think he came here, and at a certain point he got both pawns here. I don't remember how. Peter likes knight d2. I think I did play knight d2 also. But I was running low on time, and I even saw it was a bad move. But at a certain point, I was like, okay, I need to simplify this game. And something like this happened. And okay, this is still drawn, according to the computer. Jesus Christ. Oh, because I could take this pawn. No, it was something similar, but I couldn't take the pawn. Let's say something like this. Yeah. No, because then he didn't have this trick on me. Maybe something like this. Something like this. Yeah, something like this was the game. And here I was just completely kind of shut down. Yeah. Wow. Anyway. So that was the second game. And the third game, I was just so tired from that second game. And it was like 10 p.m. or something. And I had a long day at work. And I'm just going to show it with the analysis bar. And I just completely made such stupid moves. I mean, the beginning was normal. All of this was fine. I play c6 to avoid any attacks here. Oh, computer says it's already not fine. Okay. I know that's fine. Oh, interesting. Computer says I had a slight advantage. I should have gone. Yeah, I don't play aggressive enough here because I never understand how this is good. Like, it just looks so stupid to give away the whole center, but alas, I do not understand chess. Bishop e6 was better here instead of trading. Queenside castling. Wow. He doesn't do that, though. I try to attack on the other side, and I just start playing horribly here. Like, honestly, horribly. I saw this move, and I was like, I lost. Like, this is such a losing move, because he gains tempo, his knight comes into the position, and it just looks so horrible to me. But, alas, he did not play it. I don't know, he was scared. Played too passively. I realized a lot of times people play passively. And now I was able to get my knight into this outpost. I thought I had a really strong position with all the pawns looking here. I thought, okay, this is an easy win, right? I did what I felt was pretty good against a 21 or 2200, whatever. I almost beat a 1940 rated player, or so I thought, or so he thought. Apparently, it was kind of crazy game, and then became a draw, right? And so I'm versing a 15-something, 1540 or something, and really you shouldn't think of rating because the game kind of turned on its head. So here, computer liked f5, going for this push, which I thought of later. But again, I'm not aggressive enough. And he comes into the position, and here I should have taken with the rook. I considered it, but I thought, okay, this looks very annoying. So I take with the pawn. Okay, I should have taken with the pawn. But then my queen gets attacked, and all of a sudden it's very annoying. I'm like, I'm going to lose this stuff. He's going to double his rooks. He has the open file. My queen is here. It's not good. So I move the queen over. He tries to double rooks. I play my king to the side so I don't get any attack over here. Again, computer liked f5. It says don't even worry, which is just insane. Like, I wonder, if I played f5 here, and he brought the rook here to attack here. Oh, this doesn't make sense, because then I take. I have two pieces looking there, right? Or he played this, right? f7, like, and I just kept going with this plan. And he comes here to come here. Oh, then again, it's the same idea as before. Oops. Never mind. See, I was seeing ghosts. Anyway, I finally go for this f5 push, but it's kind of too late. And here, I could have repeated for a draw at some point. Again, I was playing super fast just to... I could have repeated here, I think. But I thought, you know what? Let me try to push. And somehow I was right. I thought I was completely losing here. But then he brings his queen back, which I thought was so weird. Like, you're completely winning. Why bring the queen back? Maybe, I don't know, just like the rook comes here, maybe comes here. It defends the pawn. Like, there's a lot of ideas, maybe. But he played very passively, allowing me to go for this f-pawn push. And then here I thought I found a really cool move. Although the computer disagrees. Bringing the rook back. Computer likes this more? Really? Oops. If takes, takes. This looks... Oh, because if this... I have this. And then I could even protect the bishop, right? So anyway. I bring the queen back. Bring the queen forward. Bring the h-pawn. And now we go below 5 minutes. But it's an even game. He was so scared here. So scared. At a certain point, and I timed this perfectly. I felt so cool about this. I'm like, okay, the h4 is a beautiful move. Because if he pushes, I have en passant. And if he takes, then I could take. And then, I saw it like this. And I was like, this looks completely winning for me. Completely winning, right? Like this. And I even calculated some sort of mate here. But my opponent doesn't play that. I don't remember. I wish I remembered exactly what he played. At some point, I think he played... he didn't take, I don't think. But at some point, I think he brought the king back or something. Which just gave me more time to do something. I took here, and then he did this move. At some point. And I thought, this is horrible. This is horrible. Maybe not yet. He pushed this pawn, I think, at a certain point. He pushed this pawn. And computer says taking is good here. What? Wow. This threatens mate and it's unstoppable apparently. Yeah, I didn't see that. But I think I did something like this, and I don't remember. I just got into the position. There was a mate in like 3, and then he resigned. You see, I wish I could write. I should write down all the moves. But anyway, this is the coolest game that we're gonna look at right now. It's the game that I played last week, and it was a classical game. I guess we could look at this game. Review. It says 80 versus like 82% accuracy or whatever. This game was crazy. I'm versing a 1900 first round of the tournament. Okay, this game went 79 moves long. All right, crazy game, crazy game. So, what happened here? What happened was we just played. We just played chess. He played the English opening, the C pawn push, and I go d6. I go into my normal stuff. Nothing crazy. And I'm thinking, okay, this is fine. He's going to take control of the center. I have to be really careful. This bishop is very scary, but it's fine. Then he pushes the knight out. I'm like, okay, he's just playing very kind of natural moves. And then, okay, he goes for the center. Now here I'm thinking, I have to be very careful. But this is, maybe could be a target later, but I have to be careful. My pawn push can stop this. That's probably good. A lot of times I go e5, e6 too late. I'm thinking I want to block this bishop off. Let me go e5. He castles. I go g4. And I'm thinking this is a great move, right? I want to trade off the bishop. And I'm thinking, like, my bishop is a good bishop. Right? It's doing something here. It's not forced to take until he goes h3, which weakens his king anyway, which I should know because I learned from my quick games the week before that h3 is not a great move. Pushing the h-pawn when you already pushed the center one in front of the king, it could weaken your king. But alas, I did not care. I moved my queen here for the simple idea of trying to trade off bishops. Now, 2 coaches told me, what's wrong with you? This is a bad bishop. It's staring into nothing. And 1 coach told me, hey, and these are not my coaches. These are other coaches. I work at a chess club. There are other coaches that teach chess. And I was just asking them about the game. And one of them said, hey, I get it. It's the psychological effect of removing the bishop in front of the king. And I'm not going to lie, that was a big portion of it. Because I recognized here that this was the strong bishop. I really did. I just thought, if I get rid of this bishop, it makes his king more defenseless, and then I could push my pawns, and it looks scary. Honestly, I still thought it was a good plan, but I was proven wrong. And of course, we'll look at the computer and see if it even cares. But anyway, I come here. He brings the queen here for the obvious idea of trading off the bishops. I take, he takes. I bring the knight in, because if he takes, I can take. And I learned from other tournament games that I need to develop my pieces, right? There was 1 or 2 games I just got crushed because I didn't develop my pieces normally. Goes h3, and here I go h5 very quickly. Then I think, oh, maybe it's not good. And 1 coach told me, why did you go h5? What? 2 coaches, actually. It's cool when they say the same thing, not even talking to each other, because it shows me that they understand the ideas and concepts of the position, especially if the computer agrees. It's kind of all together in cohesion. Everyone agrees this is a bad move, which means it could teach me something, right? Apparently h5 is bad because it kind of forces the bishop to live on the g5 square. But whenever I see h3, h4, I get really scared. And I was also calculating g4, takes, and a bunch of different things. And I thought the knight on h7 would be good, attacking the bishop. Okay, that's why I went to h5. Now, h6 doesn't work, for those wondering. Bishop takes, queen takes. You just lost a pawn, and the queen is very close, and the knight's going to come here, and you're going to lose. Okay. Anyway, I go h5. And here, I mean, yeah, they kept telling me you should have gone knight c6, knight d4, try to come here. The big idea here, which makes so much sense, I should have seen it, really. I'll show in a second. But also, when I saw this pawn push, I thought, isn't that just weakening everything? This is weak. You have no pawns protecting it. Like... And once this is gone, these 2 pawns are weak. And I have an outpost. I can bring my knight here. So that's why they liked this. I was about to say computer liked, but they liked something like this because the knight just lives here. Now, of course, you could probably trade it, not like that, but this makes sense. Like if I saw this idea and I thought it was possible, I would do it. But again, I get so worried. I'm like, what if the pawns move out of the way and all of a sudden this bishop is super powerful and then I'm gonna lose my pawn and my rook? Like, I'm looking at ghosts. This is not the position. And for that to happen, I should really analyze what it would take, right? Pawn push. I would have to take, he would have to push this, then I would have to take, then he would have to take, and then his bishop is opened. And why would I allow him to do all that, right? So anyway, I go for this weird stuff. I bring the knight back like I wanted. He takes, I take. And here I thought I'm basically forced to take, but I was pretty happy. I was like, he's just trading everything off. His hands are kind of shaking. Like he's scared of me. I'm not a 1900 rated player. I take, he takes, and here I attack. And I thought this is just a great move. I probably should push the F pawn. It's very scary. Not to my coaches. This is the obvious move, but to me, I was proud of, not my coaches, the coaches. To me, I was proud of doing this move because I even saw if this comes here, there's a way to trap him. I mean, he's not bad. Like he won't fall for this. This traps the queen. But I thought, oh, maybe, I mean, the way he's playing very passively, maybe I could trap it. But of course, he brings the queen back. I push this pawn, and the idea, and I think two of the coaches also told me to try to bring the queen to this side and attack. But anyway, I digress. I push this pawn, and the idea here is just to stop this stuff, to support the D pawn push. And what I realize over and over, and maybe a lot of you have this problem around my rating, which I don't even know what it is, 17 to 1900 or 14 to 1800, I don't know. But is that I'm not aggressive enough. My plans take too much time. Just bring the knight in, right? Just attack. I don't know. These are the things I should look at more than just playing a safe move. Okay? Oh, I have time to play a safe move. Let me play it. No, I should keep being aggressive. Maybe. This is kind of what I've been feeling. Anyway, he pushes here. I take. He takes. And I thought this is great. My knight gets to a nice-ish square. It's going to come to knight e6. Maybe I'll get the center anyway. And I have this discovered attack on the pawn. Of course, he protects. I bring the knight in. And I'm thinking, I'm in a great position here. Somehow, I feel like I'm winning. I just need to get the queen off of the back row. So I do that. And we just trade everything. And then he moves his king back and forth. And I'm like, I have time to make a plan. And I think so long for this move. Because this is a scary move. My idea is to basically abandon everything on this side of the board and say, hey, I'm going for your king. And something like this, if takes, then I have this. And this just looks brutal, right? This looks like you're going to lose. And I was still calculating a bunch of stuff here to make sure that it works. I was also looking at something like this, 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 this. And I see my king has the safe haven here. The knight can't get to it. The queen can't check. And I probably have something with this knight coming in. So I actually calculate a bunch of stuff. Not enough. But I'm like, okay, queen h7 looks like a beautiful move. And I'm like, no way. No way this move works. By the way, this knight move is the way to stop my threat of queen h3. No way this move works. Queen h1. Wow. If the queen takes, we have, what was it? I don't remember. But I saw something here. That's why I have to make the analysis like right after or something. But I was like, oh, this. Check. Here, check, here, and again, my king is safe. He's blocked off. I'm winning the knight. If the knight moves away, I have this kind of threat yet again. Okay? So I'm thinking, wow. And then I play knight e6. And I think one of the coaches told me, hey, why would you do this? Your knight is in a great position. Leave it there. You're forcing him to be defensive. Or maybe he said this for the earlier knight move. Why would you do this? But I thought, okay, knight comes back. Maybe I could threaten some other stuff. I calculated this. Okay, if he ignores, I still have the same exact idea. Right? Which is super cool. Like, this is fine. I have the same exact idea, winning the knight in the long run. So the c5 move, I'm like, I have to play it at some point, but I'm going to be more aggressive. I don't need to play it now. So I don't play it. He brings the knight back, and I'm like, okay, he has an easy trade. If the queen comes here, takes, and my knight can't come in. I would love for the knight to come in, give a check, win a pawn. I'm winning an endgame. I feel amazing. I'm like, I want to scream, right? But I can't. So let me get my king off of this. So if he comes to h2, it's not a forced exchange, and I could just give a check or do something. He pushes this pawn. I bring the queen to b1. Now this I thought for so long. My time is getting pretty low now. Remember, this is a 91.5 hour game. Each side has an hour and a half. Each move you make, you gain 30 seconds. Okay? Started at 7 p.m. It's like 9 something at this point. I don't know. So 2 hours in this game. 2.5 hours into this game. And I think, okay, what can I do? I would love for the g-pawn to be here, the queen to be here. Maybe I could put some pressure. This knight is actually super annoying, though. What if I take? It looks like I'm getting rid of all of my good stuff. And it weakens this pawn. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why would I do that? And I'm like, you know what? Simple. Let me bring the queen here. I'm forking. I'm attacking two things at the same time. How is he going to defend both things? Okay. And is this scary if he pushes? No, it's not scary. I could probably take, bring my knight somewhere, but I have to be careful. Or bring the king somewhere, because this is a little bit worrying. I think I saw something like this. But it is a little boring? Worrying, I should say, right? All of a sudden, all of his pieces get into the position. Well, not like that, the pawn takes. But they could all get into the position, and I got scared from this. So I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens if he pushes. I think I calculated something. And he brings the queen here, defending. And I'm like, I don't want to waste my time eating pawns, because obviously I would be winning, but maybe I'm not. Maybe he has some way to trick me. And of course, this is always a threat. I'm so scared of this move. One of the coaches told me, you have an amazing move here. Let's see if you guys could figure it out. But I thought, okay, this looks terrible. He blundered. There's no way the queen and king being able to be forked is a good move, right? There's no way. And I'm like, okay, take. I'm thinking, I'm running low on time. Let me not overcomplicate this, right? There are times I overcomplicate. I could be up a pawn or up 2 pawns and completely winning, but I don't do it. Let me simplify. So I simplify. I take. And I saw, oh, he takes with the king. It's a little annoying. He took with the queen. I could take this pawn with check. It could get real and protect this one. It could get really crazy. I'm like, after starting to do the first move, I was like, oh, the king is going to take instead of the queen. And the difference here is I can't take this pawn, and his queen is still looking at my A pawn. So I'm like, I kind of screwed that up. One of the coaches told me, what if you came here? I didn't even see this move. It's like it came out of my mind because I was so low on time. I was so scared. I don't know. I had 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left. I think I looked maybe briefly at this move. Maybe. But it's a crazy move. I don't remember what he told me. But after the queen checks, if he moves aside, I can take, right? He can't take with the knight because he loses his queen. So he has to be very careful. This is a very scary move. If he comes here, what was the idea? Takes, and I'm just up a pawn. But maybe there was something else here too. I think he loses a piece somehow. I don't know. Computer will show us. I don't do it. I don't see it. I finally block off this diagonal. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm up a pawn. I bring the queen back because I see this queen being able to infiltrate my position. Also, he's looking at this weak pawn, right? That became weak after I took. So I'm protecting it. And here, they said, why didn't you be more aggressive? You come here, you're attacking, you push your pawns. Instead, I let his king go to the other side. I was very scared. Again, I'm low on time. I'm like, let me do this, protect this, stop him from coming in. And I'm starting to play a little faster, and I don't even see this move. I don't see it. But then so I move this. I think it's completely fine. I see he could push. I'm taking, and I see the brilliancy of this move. The brilliancy, at least in our game, maybe it's a terrible move, but the brilliancy in my estimation, wow, that sounds so professional, is that after I take the center pawn, he creates a pass pawn no matter what. He takes, I check, he blocks, I take, right? The queen protects the pawn and the king. So if I take like this, it looks like this, and now I'm just completely losing because I can't stop this from promoting. So I see all that, and I'm calculating at the speed of light. I'm like, damn, he gets his pass pawn. What do I do to stop it? I just have to stop it and bring my king over. Guys, I'm up a pawn here. right? But it's super hard. I'm up 2 pawns now. But it's, and I can't, oh, I see the queen coming in with the check. Obviously, I don't want to lose my queen, and I could take the pawn, so I take it. And I calculate the next, like, 5 moves. I calculate all of this pretty fast, too. I'm like, yes, this works, because he cannot promote in time. I catch up. I do all of this in my head. I calculate all of this in my head. I'm like, this is completely winning. Oh, my God. I might actually win this game. But he's tough. He's a tough opponent for me. And he finds all the stuff. Delete all the random moves, because we're gonna go to the computer soon. He finds all the random stuff, and he keeps getting in. I'm waiting for him to stop checking me. Even here, I calculate. Here, it takes like blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, take my queen, please, just trade. He takes a pawn. That's fine. I have 3 passed frickin' pawns against 1. What the hell? What's going on? But he keeps checking, and here I thought I blundered. Here I thought if he takes and takes, I lose. And I was calculating this pawn race. I lose for this reason. Here, 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 here. And I thought this was losing. I thought I just lose. Right? It just looks annoying. And maybe he comes here, and then he comes here. And maybe it's a drawn position, because he doesn't have time to push. And you know, just this. But I calculated so much. I was so surprised and proud of myself. But he doesn't trade. He told me after the game he wasn't sure if it even was winning for him. I thought it was a blunder. I get some chance to start checking him. And then he asks me for a draw, and I agree. Now, at this point, I had 2 minutes on the clock. Okay? Guys, the past like 30 moves, no exaggeration. Okay? Since like here. Okay, maybe not here. Since like here. I have like 5 minutes. Then I go down to 2. I went down to 1.5 minutes at one point. But because you gain 30 seconds after every move, I was still surviving. I spent like 20, 30 seconds per move thinking. He had like 30 minutes. All right? His clock went down to 2 minutes. And that's when he asked me for the draw. It looked like a drawn position also, but he asked me for the draw here. And here there were still ways I could have screwed up, by the way. Something like this. And I saw this, but I was running low on time. I could have missed it. And he promotes with check, and I lose all of a sudden. So, you know, he asked me for a draw. I was like, this game is crazy. Like, maybe I could win because of time, but I already felt like I already made that one mistake before. Like, it's very easy to make another mistake. And I agreed to a draw. So this was a draw. Maybe I should have kept fighting. I don't know. Let's look with the analysis. Last game, last analysis. I know it's a long video. Okay, so I played with 80.5 versus 79.7% accuracy. Okay. He made 1 blunder. Wow. We both had 9 mistakes. So the beginning of the game was, wow, completely fine. Even my queen move was fine. But yeah, I see they preferred the knight coming out. The bishop move was weird. Let's put the analysis thing on. I was really curious to see all this stuff. So if I took, then he could take with the queen, he could take with the bishop, and this looks, wow, so amazing, but he gets... Now, I'm happy I didn't do that. This looks annoying. I'm just saying that because the computer says it's not like that amazing. Anyway, I do this. Also not bad. And again, these corner pawn pushes, like, these are my big mistakes a lot of time. Computer liked c6 to stop the knight from coming in. Oh, I forgot to mention that. I was calculating the knight coming in and putting pressure. I calculated that a lot, and I was considering c6, c5 a lot throughout this game. I go h5. We trade. And here things look good. I go c6. Computer likes knight b8. Is it to go knight c6? Wow. Instead, the game progresses like this. I bring the knight to where I feel like is a better place. We trade. And this is a mistake because I blundered this pawn. I think that's why. But I should have gone b6. Yeah. And I was considering c5 a lot. That would have been fine. But this is a mistake because he could take. right? Which is his best move. He doesn't do it, though. I think I saw it, and I was really worried he would take, too. But anyway, I bring the queen in. This was a good move, but not the best. Again, c5. Just block off this diagonal. Wow. Wow! Bringing the knight back was the best move. The only move that works. That's what the great move means. Wow, so I should feel proud of myself here. And here, queen d1. Wow, going for these ideas this early on. Right? Something like this, you lose the knight. Wow. But I think at some point I calculated that this is very scary because he has this, 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 this. And I thought he could trap me. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, this was the only move. I was completely winning. Oh my god, bro. Are you serious? I didn't know that this was the best move. I was so scared to make this move. And here, yeah, he was just computer agrees with the coach. Queen e1. Queen e1 was the move. Queen f2 takes. Knight can't take because then I take, and I win the knight. That's what it was. And king can't move over because knight g5, which I didn't even see. And all of a sudden, I'm just completely winning this game. Oh, this would be so easy to make moves here. So easy, man. Queen e2. Oh, that's savage. Because you're promoting. Well, actually, maybe not, but you have a freaking knight. Wow. Oh, so frustrating. Am I lagging? Oh no, I'm fine. I just got too excited. Yeah, here I was scared. I should have spent time. You should always spend time thinking. If you got the time, you got to use it. And I was still winning up a pawn. I found the best move. Okay, going back wasn't the best. Queen c7, okay. And pushing this pawn was wrong, even though everyone said they liked it. All of my coaches. Very interesting. How was I supposed to break through this position? Queen c8. Okay, let's say he protects. What's the idea here? b6. They kept telling me go b5. b6. Thank you, computer. You're proving me right. a6. Just take it slow, right? I want to see what he says. The computer. It's a he, apparently. Queen e6. Centralizes. Protects everything here. King comes back. b5 if takes. Now I take. And this is very hard to stop. But it's still not clear. Very, very weird position. d5. If takes. I have takes. He has check. Like, I would be so scared of him coming in with the check. But there's nothing after that. And now I could probably just trade off. Oh no, then it's a draw. Of course. I was just joking. f5. f5 looked so scary to me. I was like, why would I put my king in danger? Like, I'm just going to get perpetually checked forever. How can I do anything? But look. I get perpetually checked. It's like I was right. No, but I slowly move this. And I could even do this. This turns into a perpetual check here. Crazy position, man. Crazy position. I'm not going to be mad at myself. I was low on time. It was hard for me to form a plan. Yeah, and here I was winning. What? What? How? What am I supposed to do? Queen c4, which is what I did. I found so many only moves. I literally only had one move and I found it. Take, which I did. And what do I do here? I considered queen b4, but what happens if he comes here to trade? I take this pawn. I saw this actually at some point. I just thought, am I fast enough to stop this promotion? This looks so scary. Oh, queen e2, and now I could stop it, probably. No, it's back to even. You see what I mean, guys? How crazy is this? What? Doesn't he promote faster than me? He does promote faster than me. But what does he do? Wow, he has no checks here. How insane is this, man? Oh, if I didn't play, but so many points. If I just played more aggressively, it would have been better. Like, this was a draw after coming back. I had to come queen d2, which I don't think I even saw. I think that, again, to just be more aggressive and pick up the pieces. But this looked so scary. This looked like... Really? This is winning? Are you kidding me? f5? What? This is like crazy. I was so scared to go f5. Like, what am I scared of? There's nothing going on here. Oh. Guys, that is fast. This is completely winning. He has no checks left. Oh, he has this check. He has this check. But then he has no checks. And now I just force I force us to trade like this. Oh, so many ways to win. Oh, but instead, look at this. He blunders. And I calculated all of this perfectly. Or almost perfectly. And here, why did I bring the king here? Why not just take the pawn? Why not just take the pawn? I have 4 passed pawns. You know what's crazy? I'm kind of curious. Is this position so good that I could just give up the queen? Okay, it's not. Okay. Oh my god. This is how the game progresses. And here, I find such great moves. Such amazing moves. Wow. And I had to go what? Queen back, but then he checks. And there's no checks here, but I don't know. Now I was really low on time too, but now he could just threaten this. Right? Queen g7 protects and gives me a way in, and he still doesn't have any checks. This is the type of position I have to play against a computer 40 times, against a grandmaster computer. And here I thought I was right. This is a complete blunder. I can't believe I was right here. I can't believe it. I really can't believe how good I am at realizing how bad I am. Wow, I'm so proud. I thought this was losing for me, and I was right. I was right. It's completely losing. Right? Actually, here he just brings the king closer. Oh my god. Instead, the game goes into a draw. I guess it's good I didn't play on. Yeah, I knew I blundered that. I was so scared. All in all, a good game. Super fun. I realize a lot of things in life, in chess and everything, have to do with attentiveness. You know, how attentive you are. You can't give up at any point during the fight. You have to constantly be calculating and trying to understand the position. Like here, I did pretty good with that, even though I had one inaccurate move. But I think that's the big idea. That's how you want to play chess. Like here, I shouldn't have blitzed out a5. If I had 2 minutes left, I should have been happier losing on time than making a bad move, than not thinking. Maybe this is the right way to think. Queen b4, I'm still threatening stuff. What does he have? What does he have that's so scary? He pushes the pawn, I take it. Right? He comes here with the queen, I should have analyzed it. I really should have. I didn't even consider this move. Like, this is something I don't know how to fix. I don't know how to fix this problem because I would never think like this. I really wouldn't. You know? This just looks insane to me. I even promote faster, but so scary. So scary. Probably something like... I don't even know what the best move here is. D1. Here, I probably need to push it away, right? And find a way to trade at some point. Let's say he comes here. D4, he comes back. Like, what do I do here? The C4 comes this way. I mean, okay, I can't even take that. F4 comes here. I could even take here and it's winning. Wow. He has no checks. He has no way to break into the position. And this doesn't work because queen just takes. Yeah. This is some fascinating stuff, guys. This is so fascinating to me. And this is endgame stuff. That's it. I have to practice versus computer. Maximum computer. You know? If I'm winning by this much, I shouldn't lose. I think this is the big idea. Right? Like, okay, queen comes here to find some checks against me. What can I do? If I come somewhere like here, is it fine? Could I try to trade? Like, this looks fine, right? Maybe I come here. This is a mistake all of a sudden, right? Why is it a mistake? Like, I don't want to do this now because this video is already pretty long, but I have to think of ways to to do stuff here. It's just crazy. Crazy. I have to find a way to take this pawn, basically. Probably even just take it here. That's the thing, like, if I'm up the pawn, I should really consider how how good that can be. Okay, I don't know what I would play here. Okay. You see, like, this is fascinating. I wouldn't play this fast, of course. But like, what's the idea? Where do I go? And here I could block probably. No. Wow. Hard stuff. This would be fun. Oh, all of a sudden it's a draw. Like, it's so fascinating, you know? Like, maybe it's fine that this happens. Wow. No, it's a draw now. Because he has a way of just taking the pawn. Wow. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you watched this far, say National Master. Because that's the long-term goal. This year, my big goal is just to study chess, try to find the most efficient way. I'm trying to do 30 minutes of puzzles a day. I did it for a few days. That's been really nice. I think this is probably good. You know, I don't want to overthink certain things. Analyzing my games, again, like I said before, maybe spending 15 minutes a day. That's 45 minutes, though. It's a lot of time with work and stuff, especially on certain days where I work a lot of the day. It's harder to find time or want to do it. But maybe 15 minutes a day analyzing the classical game I played in, not looking at the analysis with an engine until this. This is the best thing also. But I hope you guys enjoyed again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.